name of the show is The Way to Go. My name is Alan Bendich. I'm going to be your host, and tonight's guest is the remarkable Max Bendich. Welcome to the show.
How are you, Dad?
Dad? I thought you were my dad.
Dad.
Okay.
Well, all I know is one of these days, and I've done it before,
Yes.
I'll be interviewing you.
Well, I'm not sure about, not today, because I want to interview you. Today, we were talking about, we asked Matt, our director today, what should we talk about? Because, it's already been about 68, 69 episodes. And he said, why don't you talk about travel? So actually, why don't you talk about travel? Because you were talking about when you were a kid, right? That you went to Lake George?
Yes.
And what kind of car was it?
All right. We bought a Chevy.
Okay.
3 of us or 5 of us, I'm not sure, but for $50, we bought a Chevy.
For $50?
At that time, $50 was a lot. Was a lot of money.
Right.
We bought a Chevy. We were working for the city, and as a clerk, grade 1.
Right.
It was for nothing almost, but we were working in the city. I was the only one who didn't go to college. They were even college grads.
So you were like in your 20s, right?
What?
You were like in your 20-something years old?
Was that?
You had to be because you went to war. You had to be.
Before the war.
Right, so it's before.
Again.
So this is before 1935.
All right.
No, but before 1940.
All right. And so we were in our 20s.
Right.
Look, and we knew each other and everything was fine.
Right.
And we decided we're going to go to Lake George. Fine, where's Lake George? This way. We got everything. We got our holdings, we got everything else, put them in a car, and we went. I think there's a possibility. I knew how to drive a little before, and that was good. One time, it was my time to drive. And we're having a wonderful time. And we're driving. It must have rained the day before. And all I remember was there are times when the tires get hot. If you can go through a puddle,
right,
and you'll cool them off even a little.
Right.
Still fine. So I'm driving, and all of a sudden, I see way down there, I see the end of a street,
right,
another street going this way, but it's a puddle.
Right.
And
you wanted to cool off your tires.
I wanted to cool off the tires.
Right.
And Alan, so I'm driving, and I get over there, and they must have been telling me something, and I was concentrating, and I go through the water, and I go, run. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Why did you splash those women? What are you talking about?
Oh, you splashed women?
Alan.
Yeah.
Right on the corner, women were standing. I didn't see them
And
at
you
all.
wanted to just watch.
I wanted to, and Alan,
Yeah.
I kept running, and they told me that it was ridiculous.
Isn't it something that you remember this still
Why?
60 years, 80 years ago?
No, Alan,
Yeah.
I see it as it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And again, it felt good. It was my time to drive.
Right.
And we had no bad incident.
Right.
And eventually, what did we get up? We had to rent a bungalow.
Right.
Oh, when was it? No, seriously.
Yes.
Labor
Day weekend?
the end. In other words, people were coming from Albany over from wherever, from Schenectady, right down to the bumper to bumper.
Right.
There was we were going, just at that time, we were going on vacation.
Right.
We were going, we come up to Lake George, nobody there.
So everyone was going in the opposite
The
direction.
opposite way.
And so they're bumper to bumper, but you have no traffic at all.
I had no, Alan,
That's great.
we had no traffic.
Yeah.
And we get up there, and we rent a bungalow. It was almost for nothing. I mean, but we had some money,
Right.
and we saw these little islands on Lake George.
Right.
Most of them are empty because they were coming home on Labor Day.
Right.
And we were gonna, and we actually weren't Alan, we lived like kings if we wanted to do that.
Right.
And when I went swimming all the time, I used to look for one thing, turtles.
Right.
Alan, I like turtles. I used to go into a lake and I'd get the turtle. So we're five. Oh, we had a motorboat.
Wow.
We had for hardly anything. Maybe
You rented it. You rented it.
What?
You rented
We rented it.
Right.
And we're in there, we're chugging along. Nobody, Alan,
Right.
not a soul. But we made up our mind. This, even when we left, we're going to meet nobody, or maybe what. And we're going along, and all of a sudden, I see a turtle.
Right.
The turtle is about that big.
Right.
And they said, "You're crazy. You think you're going to?" I said, "Come on. I'm the driver. I was at,
The rower? Were you rowing? No, it was a...
No, we were the motorboat.
Right, so you were in the motor.
And we had to hold it
Like that,
like
right.
this. And we're chugging along, and we're going slowly. And they're saying, "Go fast." No, go slow. And then I almost turned it off, and it's going by itself. And I get up there, and I jump in the water. And the turtle must have heard it. He jumps into the water, but he didn't go far. I grabbed him.
How big was it?
About
Was it heavy?
It
must have been.
Right. I don't remember.
Right.
But it was a big turtle. And I turn around and start swimming, and they're trying to get away from me. That's what I was a little angry. I mean,
Right. Oh, they're playing? They're trying to get
They
away?
were trying to get. And I go and I put the turtle in the
In the boat?
boat, and I come in. Now a scenario.
Yes.
Let's say the boat is that big.
Right.
Nobody is. Everybody went to one side, and I was with the turtle.
Was it a snap? Must have been a snapping turtle.
I do not, Alan.
Yeah,
I
but-
don't. But I loved it. It was a nice thing. But I let it go free.
Right. No, you used to do the same thing with when I was young. You did it with Mom. There's that famous picture that we have. I wish I could put it up now,
Oh.
where like you had that big turtle
Now
at
I'll
the
tell you
the
something
raft.
about that picture.
Yeah.
So we're going on vacation, actually. I mean, and where were we going? In Camp Unity.
Right. It was Unity.
And it's a nice game. And there's a wharf, and we're sitting there or talking, and one of the fellows comes. I'm getting out of the water. Boy, I think I saw the turtle there. I hear that, and I don't know what they're talking about. Alan, I don't know what they're talking about. And I'm still dressed.
Right.
I'm still dressed. And Mom is really thinking I'm gonna fool around with turtles and things like that.
Right.
And we're having it jokingly. And I come up, we see a turtle comes. The turtle
I know,
comes.
big turtle. It was a big
With
turtle.
a big, and finally, it comes close to the wharf. Nobody in the water. Not Alan. I think I jump into the water.
Right.
First of all, you're faster. The turtle goes, but
Right.
you go fast. You can go this way. He has to go like this. I grabbed the turtle,
Right.
and I know one thing: the little turtle can bite, and he can't. His head can't go backwards.
Right.
I'm holding the turtle.
Right.
I bring it to the wharf, and I put it on the turtle on the wharf. I come up. Boy, I'm like a little hero. We take a picture. The picture that you just said.
I wish we had
Then-
it, but Mom's like this.
No, but one thing.
I know her has her foot on
She
the,
had a foot on the
but
turtle.
didn't hurt the turtle. Right?
Huh?
She didn't hurt the turtle.
No.
But that turtle must have been about 50 years old.
I
Who
know,
knows how?
Alan, I haven't
It was
got that.
because it was this
Alan,
big.
But I was to talk a little.
Yeah.
But
Turtle Man.
I mean, and then again, one time, we went. I went up to this. It was a socialist camp.
Right.
Camp.
It was either
Kinderring.
no.
Wait.
Oh, right. You went to Kindering. Okay.
Kinderring with Michael.
Right.
And
Michael is your grandson.
Michael is my grandson.
Right. My sister's kid. Your daughter's kid.
Keep on.
Yeah.
I'll let you on the ball.
Right.
So we had, at that time, inflatable wings.
Right.
And he was, we have pictures of him.
He was a little boy. He was a little boy.
Huh?
He was a little boy back then.
I know, a little
Right.
boy.
He's 40-something years
we
old
have,
now.
We have pictures of him.
Right.
And he put on the
wings,
the ring,
Yeah.
and he was having a good time. But I want to interrupt everything. Remember one thing, and it's going back for quite. I went out with my grandchildren,
Right.
2 grandchildren, Michael and Gaby, and we went all over the United States.
You've talked about it about in 20 of our episodes, but
I
continue.
don't care. I want to talk about it. I have to talk about it again. Why?
can.
And Alan,
Yes.
if you come to think of it, I haven't got the biggest idea. Even Mom, I don't know why, they agreed that I should do it, and I did it.
Right.
And again, to show you that they stopped me one time.
Right.
I wanted to take them on
But you were only. But look at it this way. I mean, I'm 61 years old,
Yes.
right? You took them out when you were 70. You were in your 70s, early 70s.
All right.
Because it was 30 years ago. 34 years ago. You were in your late 60s, so you really weren't that old. You were like Sam's age.
No, I'm not talking about old or not
Right.
old. The responsibility.
Right.
There was no responsibility. I never even. There's a possibility I didn't even know the word.
Right. Yeah, but it's interesting. I hear stories from both kids. They both had a great time.
Yes.
But the one thing that I always hear about is that you used to go to McDonald's and get Gaby an ice cream cone. Now, Gaby's the youngest of the two. And you would take the top off, put it in your coffee, and give them the bottom part of the ice cream cone. So, but they had a great time. I mean, they went to California. They went to all the different places.
To go to California, Alan, we went to California.
Right.
And, I think I told her before.
Many
but,
times.
No, one thing I have to tell you.
Okay.
We leave California, and we're going north because my brother had a house in Washington. But we didn't go there. We're going.
Not your brother, your nephew.
My brother Aaron.
Aaron had a place in Washington?
Aaron, not Aaron's son.
Right, Arnold. Arnold had a place in Seattle, Washington. Arnold. Right.
Excuse me. I mean,
Right. Arnold was Aaron's son. He was also the chairman of the botany department, I think, of the University of Washington in Seattle.
So, again,
Yeah.
you're right. You interrupted me. Good. I'm going to interrupt myself now. Look what happened. How, whatever it was, we went to the World's Fair in Canada on the west side.
Right, on the West Coast, it was.
I forgot the name of it. Anyway, it's an island, and it's
right, and I can't think of it right now.
We went. They had a World's Fair, and we had a wonderful time.
I was there with you. We all went there. The whole family went to that
I don't
World's
remember.
Fair.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Again. So we're going home.
Right.
And we're going home, and we make up our mind. We're going to see Aaron. We're going to see Arnie
And Judy.
Judy.
Right. Judy is his wife, who's an attorney. Right.
We come into Seattle.
Right.
And we go up to their place. Nobody home.
Right.
All right. I left them a note, and I said, "Look, they have to have if they're so big, they have to have a law office." Sure enough, look, there's an office, Bendich and.
Right.
So we call up, and then they heard who I was. What? It's the uncle. My God, you just missed them. What do you mean I missed them? They went to the World's Fair.
That's funny.
We were going back,
Right.
and we missed them. It's all right.
Right.
We missed them. But
Vancouver.
Huh?
It was in Vancouver.
Vancouver.
That's
Alan, that's the
Boy,
name.
that was killing me. I couldn't remember it, but it was Vancouver.
But Alan, that's the name, Vancouver. Oh, now something else about Vancouver. I think I told it, but it still breaks my heart.
Okay. What happened?
I am the adventure. I love fairy tales. I love adventure. And again, to me, it was a lark. It was a beautiful thing.
Right.
Here I'm in Vancouver, and about maybe 200 or 300 miles from there was Lake Louise. Maybe not that it was a big town, city, but of the area, everybody would go there.
Right.
Up in Canada.
Okay.
And I wanted to go there, and I was outvoted. Alan, I said, come on, we're here. We dream about this. All it just says, you go right up there. And
So what's the lesson you learned? Don't allow yourself to be talked out of anything, right? It's,
But Alan,
yeah.
and now comes something about me.
Okay.
I forgot. Alan, I don't know why. And when you people, my children, kept on talking about what I just said and everything. I forgot that I used to go on traveling with them, Alan. I forgot about that. I was with Mom, and that's all, and I was with Mom, but I went traveling, and I used to complain to you later on.
Right.
I never went anywhere. What did I do? I don't even remember Alan, I had a
Well, you did.
Alan, I even went, I was in the Army, and I went to Neosho, and how did that happen? Route 80 is on top of the map, you know. 80 and it goes, and I went to the middle of the United States on route. That's when I started out.
Oh, when you first started driving out?
And then we started, and I made a left turn. And we went down there.
What was it like to go back to Neosho? Because you were that's what was where you were. You went to basic training.
No, basic training. We were in New Jersey and Fort Dix and that was our home.
Right.
And Mom, Mom had a federal job.
We know. But what was it like going back? I'm talking about because you went.
No, we went. There was. It's empty, but there were 2 barracks.
Still?
But still 2 barracks. We took the pictures. We have we have those pictures. Alan, nothing there.
But how did Mom feel?
I don't remember. I just remember she didn't complain. Usually, sometimes she complained about the certain thing.
Right.
We were enjoying ourselves, Alan, and we had kids and. Then something else happened. 2 things happened. In our neighborhood near 138th Street or wherever it is, was for cars. Where was the name? What's the name of they sold different parts of things for cars and oil or
accessory.
No, it was an
R&S Strauss.
No, it was another a name, an international name.
I don't know. I don't know what
I bought a muffler.
Right. Not Midas.
Huh?
Midas mufflers? Or?
No,
okay.
Not Midas.
Okay, forget it then.
I bought a muffler, fine, and I needed it, and everything went along good. And one day, the kids said, I think I heard a noise.
Right.
And what the noise was, the bumper came off.
The bumper came off?
Wait a minute. Not the bumper.
The muffler?
The muffler.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
The muffler came off, and then I started to hear the noise too. And what was it? Maybe about 10 miles, 8 miles. Who knows? Right. The biggest little city in the world, the gambling city.
Las Vegas.
No, Las Vegas.
Reno.
Reno.
Let's
go to Reno. Let's go to Reno.
I've never been to Reno. I've been to like a lot of other places, but I've never been to Reno.
I was lucky.
Yeah. And were you there with Mom and a kid, or were you just there with Mom?
I was with Mom, and I was maybe with only one child, with Michael.
Okay.
Maybe I was with 2, but I know I'll tell you why. So we go up to, what was the name of the place?
Reno.
No, the name of the company. We didn't
know. Whatever, you got to get your muffler fixed.
To get the muffler fixed.
Right.
Why I had
you had,
a
guarantee.
A
warranty.
A warranty.
Right.
All right. So we go up there, and we had to do it overnight.
Right.
So we're in
Reno.
In Reno, they're fixing the muffler, and we go into one of the casinos there, and now on was the funniest thing, and Michael can't go in,
right.
So he was. We're sitting right at the window,
right.
And Michael was watching, and all of a sudden he's banging on a window. Right. He noticed something that I didn't notice. But I looked around, and sure enough, 2 cherries.
Right. Which meant like he got like another 4 quarters or something. Like
whatever it is. Right. It was a winner.
Right.
But he's knocking. What are you knocking? On the top. I hit the jackpot. Alan,
I know. I remember.
I hit the jackpot, and wait, you're not finished with the adventure. I think I told that in one of the.
No, I don't remember this one.
No, okay. And we're all ready there. We were gambling, and Michael had a wonderful time. And we go back. we're starting to go back and quite some time out. Zadie, I think I heard a noise.
Right.
What do you know? I think they heard. We stopped. I'm looking around. I don't even know him. I missed him. I'm looking. No noise. This isn't broken. The gears are.
Right.
Where's the muffler? They forgot to tighten that up.
Oh, so it came off.
We had to turn.
Was it Meineke? Was that the name of the muffler?
No.
Okay.
It had two names.
Okay, forget it then. Okay.
And we turn around,
Right.
go back again.
Right.
They excuse themselves. They put.
Did you play any more or no? No more?
No.
Okay.
No comfort. Everything. So we had adventures and everything else. And
So,
again,
Dad, I mean, the car, other than that, the car must have been good because it went back and forth, right?
I don't remember what kind of car it was.
I'm not sure either. I don't remember. It wasn't the Nova because that came later.
A Nova?
No, you had a Nova.
A Chevy Nova?
That's it. It was before they had a Corolla. You had a Nova, and the Nova was the car that was right before. It was exactly the same thing as the Corolla, and
so maybe
it might have been that.
Alan, I don't remember again.
Right.
But the idea that I took my grandson.
Right.
Mom and I must have felt wonderful.
I know Mom used to love when you used to win at gambling. That's for sure.
Oh, Alan, that was the beginning, and the most impossible thing. We come in there, and it's near the end of the day.
Right.
And the first place we went to, it had a television show.
Right.
That hotel, Alan.
Whatever it was.
It had a television show and everything else. Right. And I come there, and I start winning. And Alan, I didn't stop.
What was that like? I mean, what kind of feeling is that when you're playing and you can't lose? You can't lose.
And not only with me, with Mom.
Yeah.
I think you should stop. I said, I want to stop. And Alan, we came back, and I did. From that moment on, Alan, I was a winner. Oh, I went there quite a few times.
I know, and I remember Mom, I think in the beginning, Mom didn't like that you used to like to gamble.
Oh, impossible. I mean,
but then after you started winning, Mom didn't want you not to gamble. She would always encourage you to go to...
Well, except one thing, now remember, we had no money.
Right.
Alan,
I know.
And here I'm betting hundreds of dollars.
Right.
And I don't think she'd even though she must have...
Well, she kept on coming around getting your chips. She would, you'd have all these chips in front of you.
Wait.
She'd come around, take your chips, and then leave you just a few.
No, she didn't. I would call her. The people around me, Dorothy! Come on, we have to do, he has more. Dorothy!
And you give her a stack of 25s or 100s, whatever it was. I know.
I was lucky, Alan.
I know,
Alan,
unbelievable.
I came, again, I'm still lucky, Alan.
I know.
I'm a lucky man. First of all, whether you like it or not, I'm a lucky man that I'm still alive. No,
absolutely.
That is the whole thing. And again, the things that I did was not actually for me, it was for something called us.
Right. But you know, David, your other son, says that, you hit the jackpot because, you're 101 years. I mean, you hit the jackpot meaning in life. Because how many people are 101 and still could tell stories like this, and live life like this? So you hit the real jackpot. I don't know.
How we made up our mind to go, that's another thing. How did we, and remember, what else? Again, I think I had this before. We finally make up our minds we're going to go traveling.
Right.
And you, David, and Miriam, I'm positive, were almost frightened.
Well, I didn't know because I was in California.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Excuse me.
You were coming to visit me.
Come to visit you.
Right.
And they thought I'm going to kill myself. But there was something that they didn't realize that I realized. It was called 66.
No.
Hotel 66.
No. Motel 6.
Motel 6. Oh. I know there was
Motel 6.
Motel 6. I lived there, Alan.
I know.
And how did it happen? I start out to go millions of miles.
Right.
No. As I'm going on Route 80,
right.
maybe about 300 miles, which wasn't bad in a day. I see the first thing, Motel 6.
Right.
I go in there. It was the cheapest place to be.
And it was clean.
And it was clean.
No, it wasn't. They really kept it, and they still keep
Yes.
it clean. And it's still one of the cheapest places.
And again, there was a possibility we could have called up to the next one, and I went from 300 miles. Sometimes the next one was about 150 miles.
Whatever it was.
Whatever it was, it was a day's. We had a day off after that, and we went to Motel 6. I lived there, and
So you and Mom and the kid would be there, right? And that's it. The kid, and some of them had pools, right?
Oh, not some of them. Motel 6, all of them had pools.
But they were outside pools,
outside.
and the kids would go,
And
right? Michael and Gaby would go swimming, right?
We all went there. I mean,
It was good, right?
but Alan, when we started to do all this thing, you and I said, what am I going to talk about?
Right.
I never went anywhere. Why did I say things like that?
Well, because I guess you get accustomed in life to where you are now. Like I think about where I used to be when I lived in Hollywood, and now I'm working every day, as an accountant, as a finance director, and it's like it's like day and night. It's a different reality.
But still, I think about it, Alan, and again, it was frightening. Now it's frightening now, not at that time.
Right.
Why I took that responsibility.
Well, I mean, now it's easy. At the time, you felt like you were young, and you were young, obviously. I mean, look at you now, and just subtract 35 years. Or 34 years. You were 34 years younger than you are now, and you drove, and you were still, very strong, and I mean, you were a young man, and I could say that because I'm approaching the age that you were when you started going cross country.
Those were the days, my friend. I thought that never end.
Mom had a good time, though. I mean, she liked the traveling, right?
Mom liked to travel. Now, again, she had a sedative life,
right?
Always with her parents.
Yeah.
Again, thank you. With her parents. A religious life.
Right. Sounds of silence. Yes.
And how she ended up with me, I'm the happiest guy.
Right.
But when she told me once, I tell that to you, you know what she says, what my father says? Of all the fellas, she would bring home people, I'm the best. But one thing they knew, and which was wrong. They didn't know it. I do it, Alan, believe it or not. They thought I would never say a prayer for them.
Right.
But Alan.
That I know. And I got to say a prayer right now. And the prayer is, well, there's only one thing left to say.
That this is.
That's a wrap. Good night, folks.
But anyway, I want to tell you.